Which, for a funny story, I did burn my house down, really, truly, when I was in high school. Did
Are
you know
kidding
this?
me? No. Wait, how is this so on brand for you, Alex?
It was an accident. And we lived in the Homewood Suites for 3 months while my house was being rebuilt. I swear to God, this is like literally so true. I burnt my house down. 2 truths and a lie. I burnt my house down. And that's the truth. So I'm like,
That's crazy.
yeah, I swear to God, it's true. And I maybe shouldn't use that like as, like say like I'm going to burn her house down because like I have done it. So actually people should be scared. So I really will do it because I have done it before.
I wanted to start a podcast for creative entrepreneurs, so I asked Alex to join me.
And I said, say less, I'm in.
Welcome to the Say Less podcast, where we actually say a lot more about motherhood, creativity, photography, business ownership, and everything in between.
We're your hosts, Alex and Grace, and this is a space for creative women building something meaningful. Whether you're raising babies, raising your rates, or just trying to figure out your next move.
We talk about all the real stuff, what's working, what's not, what we're unlearning, what nobody tells you about building a business that has to fit inside a real life.
The pivots, the pressure, the sustainability, and all of the seasons.
If you've ever felt like you're creating in the margins of your time, your energy, or your confidence, you're not alone here.
So say less. Let's get into it.
You have so many great reviews on Google. So I'm just jumping in, by the way.
Jump in.
Okay.
Literally dive off the diving board into the deep end. Immediate.
You have so many amazing reviews on Google, and they're so important. I feel like word of mouth always has just been like a big thing with, hey, you're doing a great job. Here's some other people that want to hire you because you're doing a great job. There are so many people on the internet, which we're going to kind of get into, who want to like leave a bad review, not just on Google, but in other spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to hear kind of your take on like, you have so many good Google reviews and that's been so helpful for your business, I'm sure. Like, do you feel like there's a new weight that you have to carry, like surrounding reviews and like this tension and all of those things, especially like with what we're seeing?
That's a really good question. And I'm always scared of reviews. I'm really scared of reviews and I'm scared to ask for them. And then in the same breath, I feel like Google has kind of made it complicated in order to do it. Like if you send the link, then you have to be logged in and it's kind of a whole thing. And then sometimes I'm like, it's not even worth the effort.
Yeah.
But I think that social proof is really important for business. As you know, I worked in marketing a million years ago. It feels like that was relevant then. And I know for a fact, even though I'm out of like day-to-day marketing experience, I know that that's still really relevant. So I do draw reviews. But I am scared. I feel like we are living in this generation of social media backlash, of positive reviews give you one step forward, which is exciting. But like a negative review can bring you 1,000 steps backwards.
Yeah.
And I like to say things really dramatic, but I feel like I'm not being dramatic when I say one step forward and 1,000 steps back. So I'm like, a negative TikTok review for a business can ruin you.
Yeah.
Ruin you.
I mean, but that would never happen to you because you're amazing, A+, keeping it 100 always.
Oh my gosh. I hope.
You've been in business
I hope.
But you've been in business for 10 years. And it's like
10 years.
If one person posted some crazy bad review TikTok, even if it wasn't true, there's your name and you're in it.
I know.
And there's 10 years that you have to be like, but wait, I had 10 years. And it's like this whole like new proving thing that has to happen again.
It just ruins everything. Well, and it's really hard because it almost gets to the point where I'm like, don't mention my name at all. Like, if you're going to mention it, and I know you know that I had like a recent drama a few months ago. It had nothing to do with me, but more so like bride versus venue experience. And I just was a part of the day and I kind of got brought in. And then I was like, just don't even say my name because like, I just don't even want to be affiliated with it because I'm so scared.
Yeah.
I'm so scared. It is terrible. And I have gotten to the point where if there's one thing with my process with my clients that kind of goes maybe a little astray, like a tiny bit, like I was a week late delivering, which I'm good at clear communication. And I think that keeps you out of the mud. But there have been like certain situations where maybe I'm a little bit late or I really can't think of anything like other than maybe I'm late delivering a gallery, which has happened a handful of times. And I'm scared to send a review link because I'm just scared that they're going to be like, she was great and we love our photos and she was really nice and fun or whatever they're going to say.
Yeah.
However, it took too long to get the photos. And then I'm like, the
Yeah.
negative is what stands out to people these days.
I feel like even
So
with
it's
Google
very
reviews, like you said, it's harder today to like go leave a Google review. It's just they make it a million times harder. And I feel like
yes.
people figure it out when they want to leave a bad review. You don't
Yes.
hear people with like happy galleries that often. Well, there are people.
No, you're
I'm not
right.
one of them. Like
You're
a
right.
bride gets their gallery back and I get a really sweet text back, but I'm like, go put that on
Same.
Google. Go put it on
I
Google.
know.
And
I
like
know.
the people that have negative things to say will be the ones to go and find the link and figure out how to do it and leave a whole long novel about how they weren't happy
Yes.
with your services. And then it's also like
Yes.
the battle to get it removed, to get, like to make it go
Yes.
away. And so it's just so, so hard. So I totally agree with
I
you on that.
love the ones, I don't know if you've seen these, and my mom and I were just laughing about these, but have you seen the ones, like, it's specifically more so like restaurants, but like people will leave a negative review and they'll like print it on a t-shirt or something like that, like the negative review. And I'm like, at my heart, that's the person that I am, right? I'm like, bring me some slander and like I'll slander you back. And it's so hard not to be like, I actually hated you too, or something like that. Like, obviously it's never happened to me, but I'm like, it would just be so hard for me not to respond that way if I were
Yeah.
to. So I did receive one 4-star review
Not
one time.
Alex.
I
I don't
know.
believe you.
It was actually like, I think it like ruined my week. Like it went beyond ruining my day and ruined my week. And it was totally my fault, which is why I feel comfortable about sharing it. But
Yeah.
it was like 8 or 9 years ago. So I was still in the very
Mm.
beginning of my career. We still lived in Wichita Falls, so North Texas, small town situation. I was trying to gain more traction, more visibility, more clients, and I did a giveaway shoot. And this is just like how every horror story begins. I did a giveaway shoot, and I'm like, if you're a photographer and you're hearing me and you did a giveaway shoot, stop.
Don't.
Don't, because the clients that you're serving for free are not your clients.
Yes.
Okay. Anywho, so I did actually shout out to my friend Sophie because I did just do a giveaway like less than 2 years ago. She was amazing and like insisted on paying anyways. And her photos
So
were amazing.
sweet.
And she's been a repeat client since then. And like, I love her. So I'm like, this doesn't apply to you.
This
I
doesn't
just
talk
needed her.
about you.
She's not listening to this, 99% sure, but I'm like, just in case, I wanted her to know. So this was a million years ago. And there's no hate to this client either because it was totally my fault. This was before I was using HoneyBook and had like systems and things in place, which I do think is kind of the key factor in not receiving negative reviews, which I know
Yes.
we're going to kind of circle back to. But I'm a clear communicator with a very organized system, which is very
Mhm.
helpful. I don't sit at my desk 8 to 5 every single day. So I feel like being organized is really key
Yes,
for me,
especially with kiddos.
especially with kids, because I'm like managing so many calendars at once, as I know
Yeah.
like many creative entrepreneurs are. Anyways, early ages of my business. Okay.
Mhm.
I'd run a giveaway shoot. I forgot to put it in my calendar. Like if we scheduled it and we planned it and I forgot to put it in my calendar and they were there and they were waiting on me and I was at home in my pajamas. Swear to God, this happened. And she was texting and calling me and I was like, my God, I know this happened to you and you shared it on like a podcast episode where you slept in by accident.
Uh-huh.
I was
For
sleeping.
what? Yep. Uh-huh.
I just genuinely forgot. I
Yeah.
just 100% forgot. And I didn't put it in my calendar. And I guess just because it was free. And then we like scheduled it and we kind of did like, it was really random. It was like a weekday at like 10 a.m. or something like that, which worked for them really well.
Yeah.
However, I'll say hustled out the door.
Yeah.
I think at the end of it, because we lived in Wichita Falls, and that's the reason I mentioned that, I got there in
Mhm.
like 7 minutes. So all that to say, I think I was like 20 minutes late
That's
total.
actually really good for not having it on your
So I like sent her a text, which wasn't true at the time. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I just wasn't feeling well this morning and I'm like running behind, but I'm on my way. And then I was like, deep breath, like, stay calm, be on your way. And I like had all my stuff gathered up. So I just had to like kind of throw myself together. And I got there and I will let you know, I still think about these photos because they were amazing. I like performed at a high caliber. They were a gorgeous family. And it was like mom, dad, and like baby. And she left me a 4-star review. And I'll never forget it because I was like, it was free, dude. It was free. And like the photos turned out amazing. And like I was sorry that I was late. Like I will take ownership in that fact. But like it
Yeah.
ruined my week. It ruined my week.
That would be hard. Yeah. Especially
It
when you like
ruined
probably, I mean,
my week.
if something like that happens, you should. I mean, you're just excellent in whatever you produce all the time. But like,
That's so nice.
especially like putting, probably extra excellence into it because of that, because you knew the situation.
Worked
And it
harder.
still like wasn't enough.
No. And it was like even one of those where, so we shot like on top of a parking garage and like outside and whatever. And like the sky was kind of blown out. And I like took extra time to like edit the sky back in to like every photo and like really put in extra effort because I was so sorry and apologetic. And I was
Yeah.
so apologetic and was
Yeah.
like, I'm a human. I wasn't feeling good. I was running late and I'm so sorry. And like, you have a kid and you waited on me. And I worked really hard. And so obviously that didn't ruin my business. It didn't ruin my business,
Yeah.
but like I was in the beginning stages and I was very upset by
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
was very upset. On the other hand, and like I said, I feel like these kind of situations can be easily cleared up, right? So like
Yeah.
systems in place and clear communication and stuff like that. And like being late on delivering a gallery, like we're human. It just is what it is. And I know we always talk about as a creative entrepreneur, your team is you and you and you and also you and also you. And then if you need help, you have you.
Yeah.
And Travis is always like, I wish I could help you. And I'm like, and I wish you could too. And you can't because it's me. So I'm like, it is hard because you take everything personal. You're working your butt off. You're trying
Yeah.
your best, but having the systems in place of just clear communication up front of this is when you can expect to hear back from me. This is when you can expect to see your gallery. This is like how this process works. And I feel like that matters a lot. However, speaking on social media backlash, there's some situations to where I just don't know. I don't know how I would handle it. I don't know how to handle it. I don't know how you could. So here's the other side of the coin. Okay.
Yep.
It's on the flick of my thumb. I've tossed it into the air. It's flipped over. It's landed on the ground. And there are situations
Yep.
that I see on TikTok. Like, for example, I am
in theory,
a
if
hypothetical
something like this
situation.
happened.
If something like this ever happened, redacted any names for any reason. If it were a real situation, there's no names being used. Photographer girl has been in business for 10 years.
Yeah.
She's a mom. She's a creative entrepreneur. She's working her butt off. She's hustling. She's providing amazing images. Someone on the other side of the world for 4+ years is stealing her images and using them as her own work for her own credit. Not for inspiration, because that's a whole nother topic for another day. If you're like, oh, this is my inspiration using someone images, which by the way is illegal in stealing, just for those of you that need to know. Using someone else's photos just as inspiration is stealing. Yeah. So I just want to throw that in. This person, hypothetically, no name hypothetical other photographer, is using 10+ years experience business, mommy photographer in a different state, using her images and taking the credit. Yeah. Not only that, but like posting them and like as if she really took them and being like, wow, Brittany, fake name, Brittany looks so beautiful at her bridal shoot. And like, she didn't take the picture. So the photographer posts on TikTok of she's got her receipts. She's come with the receipts. She has screenshots. She has screen recordings. She has all the data. She has the emails that were inserted. Someone's stealing her photos, using them for her work. Video goes absolutely viral.
Yep.
Nutty.
Crazy.
So now what? Okay, so actually hypothetical. Since we're speaking hypotheticals, what would you do if this were you? Which I just want to like mention again. If for some reason you're listening to this podcast and this is your first day on our episode, frightening. And this is not something we would literally ever do. And I just want to go on record and say we are moral business owners. And I will go on record to say I'm a little bit kookier than Grace. So doing something crazy is not out of my wheelhouse. However, stealing something like this, crazy. So, okay. So hypothetically, you're the photographer that's stolen all these images and you've been caught red-handed. What do you do?
If I were the one caught?
Yes, you're the one caught.
Oh my gosh. You said Grace is not as kooky as me.
I'm just saying, like, I'm crazy and you're not.
I think I'm like hesitating because like in what world? It's just,
I know.
It's an otherworldly thought. Like I cannot comprehend. And like I have met hypothetically. And I just could never imagine.
Right.
I don't know. Shut her down, I guess. So I don't know.
What's crazy to me about this hypothetical situation too is that we have to say hypothetical every other word for legal reasons. For legal reasons, where actually everyone's name is hypothetical because like
this actually didn't happen.
for legal reasons, came to me in a dream, and I decided to share it on the podcast.
Heavenly downloads.
No, it's crazy because there's no way that she was acting alone in this. And that's kind of what I get hung up on, because I know our conversation off the podcast was like, whoa, that's crazy to imagine. But like, she has a support system around her that like had to have known she wasn't traveling to these places to take the photos. Which I feel like the photos that she was stealing were in really like noticeable locations. Okay.
I'm
like,
in real time. I'm texting you what I think.
I'm scared. I'm scared. Hold on. See? Okay. So, okay.
Yeah.
So
I think you're
let's
right.
just say hypothetically that the support system, being partner, whoever else, is working very closely. Y'all are both just bad people. I'm just not understanding, because like if it were me and I was lying about taking these photos in these locations, Travis would be like, why are you posting pictures in New York City when you were not in New York City? Like, you're posting saying, oh, I did this bridal shoot in New York City, but you've never been to New York City.
Yeah.
Which I have, by the way, obviously. But I'm like making a point. I'm just like, it's really unfathomable. But
yeah,
my point is, her business is ruined.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it's just ruined.
Yeah.
It's ruined. I don't want to say she deserves for it too. Obviously, like I do not say like people are deserving of bad things to happen to them. But this is one of those situations where maybe we close her down and reevaluate.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was also going to do a follow-up question. This is what I thought you were going to ask me. I thought you were going to ask me, if your photos were stolen, would you have done XYZ with the video? And the answer to that is yes. Yeah. I would have done it exactly how she did it, hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if you remember the number of photos, astronomical, when it was all tallied up.
8,000 something?
Oh gosh.
800 something? It was something 8.
I think it was like that.
800.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like between website, socials, all those things.
Yeah.
Which don't exist anymore.
If it exists anymore?
Hypothetically.
She hypothetically took down all of her social media and her website and everything?
Just the photos that
were
not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So said photographer, who could be mentioned, which honestly, I just can't think of her name right now, but she's the one that posted the TikTok exposing hypothetical girl who stole her photos. And she had screenshots of everything. So I don't know what she's trying to prove now, deleting it. So those of you that are listening and following the story,
not the OG photographer.
Yeah. The girl who deleted all the stolen photos
with the receipts. Why go delete? Yeah.
Hypothetically. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what it did make me think? I don't know if I would notice. Maybe like, if we're in the hundreds, but I do get email notifications when people favorite and download.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know if I would notice I would just think, oh, that's like her mother-in-law or like a bridesmaid. Like, I just don't know if I would notice if someone like stole like 1 or 2 images more than, I mean, if someone stole 800 or something like that, I think I would like pick up on it, that like older galleries were being downloaded and stuff like that. But the thing is like, I randomly will get emails. Like, I got one literally yesterday of an email, like new download list created. And it was like a wedding that I shot in like February. And I was like, weird. And I go and look, and it was like the venue owner. And I was like, okay, normal. Yeah. Because sometimes I'm like, what's up with this old gallery? And I do always notice when like my couples download their galleries like on their anniversary. And I'm like, oh, this was like a year ago, and they've come back and downloaded images, which is cute and sweet. But I did like have me thinking, like, I just really what I should have been thinking something different probably. But what I was thinking is what I notice.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if I would notice if someone was stealing my images.
Yeah. I also have a follow-up question.
Okay, I'm ready.
Hypothetical original photographer's BFF.
Okay.
Did you know about this part?
No, I don't think so. So the photographer that's getting stolen from, that's who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So her BFF, what's the T?
Went on Threads. I think it's gone now.
Okay.
Said all of the names. Said all of the things that the photographer who was getting stolen from didn't say. And she was like, this is my best friend. This is what happened to her. Girl that stole photos, I'm calling you out. That was
username?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Tagged and everything.
Name.
Yep.
I'm her. I
was going to say, would you do that for me? But I know you would. God. I would do it
Not
for you too, probably.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
no,
would
probably.
judge and jury sit on the stand for you, first of all,
Mhm.
slander her, slash her tires, and egg her house. Of course I would. Of course I would. Of course I would. Yes, I have like the really southern way of handling things. I'm like, I'll just burn her house down. And just I'm like, let me take my time to log into my Google and leave a review. I'll just set fire to her house. Which hypothetically, her and
It's
I live
all
in the same town. Hypothetically. So
hypothetically
hypothetically, she
crazy.
lives near me.
That's crazy.
So that's crazy. Okay, but this is what scares me, right? And like,
Yeah.
so the good side of it, and like in this hypothetical dream instance that we've just created and discussed for legal reasons, they were hypothetical. Do you feel like justice was like served?
No.
And it's one of those, no, okay,
No, I mean, you never know what's happening behind the scenes, but like
sure.
it was like hot topic for less than a week, and I feel
Hmm.
like people are still
It's
talking
already
about it,
blown
but
over.
it's not. I'm not seeing. Yeah. There's no resolution. I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah.
But again, with all the legal stuff, if there hypothetically is legal stuff,
Hmm.
we wouldn't know until it's all
Yeah.
finalized. But I'm hopeful that for that original photographer, some justice is served.
Totally. So kind of what I mean is like she is trying her best to like I don't think hypothetically that she's handling it like quite appropriately. I feel like I would have some shame and some accountability and
Sure.
take ownership, and hypothetically I don't think that that aspect of it is happening,
Yeah.
but she did like take down all the photos and delete everything,
Yeah.
and she's receiving some online hate. Obviously, I don't think it's like extreme.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like is the problem, is that I feel like it gets extreme and then people can make it really personal and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think
Yeah.
it needs to be taken there.
Yeah.
But I do feel like her kind of shutting down her business and, moving into the next phase is justice being served in a way of like social media did its job of like kind of canceling out this like bad behavior.
Yeah.
And I think that's the good part. But then on the other hand, not hypothetical, but there's this whole other like realm of small businesses that are getting their butt handed to them when it's not deserved.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know I sent this to you on TikTok. I can't remember the exact circumstance, but it was a wedding planner who was also a bridesmaid. Okay. So she's a
Hmm.
wedding planner as career, but she was a bridesmaid in a wedding. And she came on to say a lot of things about the photographer. I can't remember her name. It's not worth mentioning, whatever. But I just mean like there's no legal aspect to this. There's no hypotheticals. This is just a TikTok video I saw.
Yeah.
And she came on to say all these things about the wedding photographer when at this wedding that she was a bridesmaid in. And according to the comments and like what she had to say was actually like a very unprofessional and like very poorly handled situation, like from the photographer. So I
Yeah.
think that the quote on air quote awareness that they were bringing to her was kind of like justified in a way
Yeah.
of like how she handled herself as a photographer. But
Hmm.
what stuck out to me in the video, she said, and I could just tell she didn't care because she then delivered all of her photos within 3 weeks. I was really hung up on that
Yeah.
because I was like, hold on. Because at the time I saw that, I was dealing with a certain situation of I had the craziest busy summer. And I
I
know that
remember. Yep.
I had a really hard, crazy busy summer. 2 kids at home 24/7, working
Yes.
every night from 8 to midnight, working my butt off, but late. And I
Yeah.
ended up being about 2 weeks late delivering 2 galleries.
Yeah.
So, I delivered one
Which
and
like
then I was still
never.
working on the other,
Yeah.
which
Never
never
happens.
happens.
Yep.
And I had one bride who was literally like, "You're amazing and we appreciate the hard work. And
Hmm.
I know you're editing every single image and like literally there's no rush. And what's a couple
Yeah.
extra weeks and we don't want you to," and like,
Yeah.
just
Because good
really like,
thing takes
giving me
time,
grace. And just giving me
and you're
grace
not going to
where
rush it
I thank you. And
just
I
to
don't
like meet
wanna
a
rush.
deadline.
And I don't wanna rush.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. And then I had another one who was losing her patience.
Hmm.
And I won't get too far
Yeah.
into it. I don't think that she was meaning to come off as I was receiving it, but more so just like very eager and excited, but it was
Hmm.
coming off a little bit sharp and harsh towards
Like you
me.
don't care because
It
it's late.
like as if I'm not working my butt off. And so I was having a really hard time with that. So that was happening at the same time that I see this video of
Uh-huh.
the photographer who delivers in 3 weeks and doesn't care.
Uh-huh.
And I just was having a really hard time with that because I was like, hold on, because I deliver in 6 to 8 weeks
Yeah.
in this instance, 2 weeks
Yep.
late. I delivered within 10 weeks, which I still feel like is an appropriate amount of time for someone
Yes.
who's like full-time wedding photographer. But I guess that just kind of opens up the conversation of what is the appropriate time,
Yeah.
because that was like one of her heavy hitting points. She felt as a
Yeah.
wedding planner that the photographer who really was not professional throughout the day
Yep.
delivered photos within 3 weeks and that she didn't care. And I just was like, I almost can't hear it
Yeah.
because I'm like, how is that one of your points?
Yeah.
How is it one of your points?
Yeah.
So the issue is there's a couple issues. I'm on a roll.
There's about
I've had
10
too much
issues.
caffeine. No, there's like 100. I could like bullet point them out. I feel like the world has like become so entitled,
Yeah.
and you're expecting this Walmart.com corporation level of service available 24/7, working my butt off for you. Do you want a full refund because you're not happy with the way that I didn't respond to a certain messaging? You got your photos 2 days late and you're mad and you're taking it to social media, which has become the complaint department.
Yeah.
And you're expecting this level of service when you intentionally hired a one-on-one personal professional me. You hired
Because
me. It's just me.
there are large 20 plus teams of wedding
So hire
photographers.
them.
Yep.
So then hire them.
Yeah.
If you're wanting the big box experience, then hire a big box. But if you're not wanting the like personal experience of, okay, I'm running 2 weeks late because I had literally such an insane summer, which I stand on business with like oversharing and boundaries.
Yes.
I was not saying, hello, I'm working
You
until
weren't
midnight
telling her
every
all
night.
your yes.
No.
Yeah.
I'm like, my kid's not in school and I don't have any time and I don't have a bunch. It wasn't any of that. It was simply weeks prior. Hi, I know you're eager to see your photos. I'm so excited to get them to you. As a reminder, I am hand editing every single image myself and I'm running approximately 2 weeks behind the deadline. And I'm like clear communicator getting ahead of it in this way, right? And this is what I'm saying. I'm like scared to deliver like a review to while I'm still maintaining my professionalism. And I believe, and like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, delivering an amazing product that I'm proud to deliver and have experience and all the things that I'm excited and proud to deliver. I'm still scared because I feel like these videos that are posted on social media have just become the norm.
Yeah.
That I'm like, someone's going to make one about me. So let me like not even make a big deal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. And I don't know if you remember like the AI photographer from, was that just this year too?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And like,
Totally forgot about that.
exactly.
Wait, explain it for the listeners.
Oh gosh, I don't remember all the details, but a really well-known photographer, been in business a long time, I think, was taking other photographers' images. I don't think from their galleries. I think just from like online or websites or whatever, running them through AI, don't know which one, and like altering them to like make them look more beautiful, in quotes, more beautiful, fake, essentially, and posting them as her own.
Like changing the backgrounds.
It was
and
Gemini. It was Gemini because the watermark was still on there.
The watermark. Yes. So she or he, I don't actually know or remember, but I'm just going to use they, like a gender neutral pronoun situation. They were taking the images and like altering the backgrounds in the scene so that they seemed like they were in the location that this photographer was, right?
Yes.
So like taking the people, but putting them in a different location of like wherever the location this photographer was, which was crazy. And then they got caught. Okay, so go back to that. Sorry.
I think that was it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that goes to show too, like, I don't know what the resolution was there. Like, I need to check back in.
Either.
Like, people only care about the drama. And I think that's why people
was like really, yeah, okay.
People keep making these videos, like, to your point, like,
exactly.
I want to see more videos like, oh my gosh, I had the best photographer ever. Like, I want this to go viral because my photographer was so amazing. I'm just like not seeing that. And I wish I would see more of that.
Stuff doesn't go viral. And like, not to make this even deeper, but like, it's exactly the same with like news and media. And that's why news and media is like sharing so much negative things, because people are so interested in the bad stuff that's going on more so the positive, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, it is really hard. And that's why I said a positive review is one step forward and a negative review is 1,000 steps back, because I just feel like people have gotten so comfortable sharing someone's worst moment for everyone else's entertainment.
Yes. Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, are you posting this to bring awareness?
Mm-hmm.
Are you posting this because you feel like it's important or because you want to get it off of your chest? Or are you posting it to go viral and for people's entertainment? I mean, this is
Yeah.
just like our generation. I'm going to say our. Grace and I are 30-ish, low 30s, like low 30s, low. I'm 31, but it's like our generation is like so obsessed and a little bit younger with like the viral aspect of it,
Yeah.
like going viral. So it's like, why are you sharing it? I just want to encourage people that are sharing on TikTok and stuff like this, like to handle it with the professional. Do your
Yes.
best to handle it with the professional prior to bringing it to social media. In our hypothetical dream situation of photographers' photos, 800 plus, getting stolen, TikTok, fine, 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 fine. I do know hypothetically she is seeking legal counsel. So I
Yeah.
don't know if the TikTok's going to help or hurt her case. And if
Yeah.
I had to guess, probably hurt more
Mm-hmm.
than anything. So maybe she should have waited. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not bringing like advice to that. But like so and so that was talking about the photographer that wasn't professional and then delivered the photos in 3 weeks. Could you have handled it with the photographer outside of social media prior to posting it? I feel like so. I
Yeah.
feel like so. And I don't know her. I don't know her heart. I don't know her intention. So I won't judge her from my outsider perspective as just a TikTok scroller.
Mm-hmm.
It did seem that the point of the video was entertainment and
Yeah.
maybe her friend that was the bride. And this is valid. She's paid thousands of dollars and she was very upset about it. And then this friend was the friend like me who's like, let me just set fire to her house. But instead, she brought it to TikTok, literally. Instead, she brought it to TikTok to burn her house down socially. And did it that way. And maybe it could have been handled differently. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't involved. So it's a really hard thing. It's hard because as a small business owner, you have to use social media to succeed. But then you have the fear of one thing being posted on social media that's going to bring you to complete and utter failure.
Yeah. Oh, that's
There's no
deep.
resolution there.
There's
There's no
none.
resolution. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was telling Grace before we recorded this episode, I like always want to make a point, and I don't know if there's a point to be
I'm
made.
like, we can't bring it home because Alex burned it down.
I
She burned the house down.
I did the house. There's nowhere to bring it home to. I set fire to it. Which, for a funny story, I did burn my house down, really, truly, when I was in high school. Did
Are
you
you
know
kidding
this?
me? No. Wait, how is this so on brand for you, Alex?
It was an accident, and we lived in the Homewood Suites for 3 months while my house was being rebuilt. I swear to God, this is like literally so true. I burnt my house down. 2 truths and a lie. I burnt my house down, and that's the truth. So I'm like,
That's
I'm
crazy.
yeah, I swear to God, it's true. And I maybe shouldn't use that, like, as, like, say, like, I'm going to burn her house down because, like, I have done it. So actually, people should be scared. So I really will do it because I have done it before. My
Oh
mom
my
said it
gosh.
was like 3 of the best months of her life because we loved living at the Homewood Suites. They had breakfast and dinner every day and, like, cleaned the room and made the bed all the time.
That would be my dream. I'm like, as a
Yeah.
mom now, I'm like, please.
No, I know. That's exactly. And, I had 5 kids in my household. So my
Sure.
mom said it was like the best 3 months of her life. Insurance paid for it. And we were living our best life. Yeah, it was no problem.
Man.
But I did burn my house down. And that night, literally had to go to Target and get t-shirts and like toothbrushes. It's like we had nothing. It was really sad. Like
So
when I was like a teenager, I was like, this is sad.
You were
But,
like, I'm
looking
homeless,
back,
but it's my fault.
it was before social media, except I think I tweeted about it and was like, worst night of my
The
life.
tweet,
The tweet.
man.
I want to be 16 again. Anyways, I should make that joke because I really have burnt someone's house down, but there almost is no point. I guess I just want to
Yeah.
bring awareness to the situation
Yeah.
of backlash that can be created for social media,
Yes.
especially regarding, because I know our heartbeat is for small business owners and
Mhm.
specifically creative entrepreneurs, and even more specifically, subcategory moms who are creative entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Try to handle it with that professional before.
Mhm.
Then, you see those videos that are like posting screenshots of them trying to reach out and not getting their photos for 6 months and messages over messages over messages over excuses over excuses.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's a little bit different. You're bringing it to social media to try to get attention
Yeah.
from so-and-so. But if that small business owner, creative entrepreneur is working their butt off to make it up to you, just give them some grace.
Yeah. Yay.
Please. I guess that's the point, right?
I think that's the point. Yeah.
That's the point.
And
And also, if you are the
You
creative
said and
entrepreneur,
also.
yes. And also, if you are the creative entrepreneur, to go forth with confidence
Yes.
and not live in fear. Because I know that I do a lot of the times, and I'm like, I should just, in the case that I receive a 4-star I won't even say less because I'm like, I just can't even like speak
Yeah.
that into existence. Handling it professionally. And I
Yeah.
think that people are taking the time to read those responses of, I totally understand why you left me a 4-star review. And I'm so sorry that I was late to our shoot and you waited with your toddler. As a mom, I know that was probably a huge struggle and I cannot be more apologetic. However, I hope you love the images and the service that I provided. And that should have been my response to the 4-star review. I think I just cried for like a week and didn't actually handle it as I should. But I'm like, I think receiving a review like that is a chance to respond as a human
Yes.
professionally and emotionally and positively.
Yeah.
And I think that people are taking notice of that because I do
Mhm.
know that people are noticing that social media is used as like a complaint department.
Mhm.
So I think people are noticing the responses, right?
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
that make sense? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say, and also,
And also, no, on it that you said exactly what needed to be said. So,
yeah,
yeah. This was good. I mean, even
I
though we
know.
had a lot of like really intense stuff, I feel like
Yeah.
we're at a good place. You can't please everybody and you can't
No,
change
you
everybody.
can't. It happens, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. If you're the patron, the encouragement is to try to handle it off of the internet. And if you're the business owner and it's happening to you, not in the hypothetical sense that we discussed today
Mhm. Yep.
of the girl that's stealing photos. If you're stealing photos, you deserve to be slandered on social media. So that's hypothetical. That's to anyone that hypothetically is stealing photos. Social media slander's deserved. But if you just had a bad day and you're receiving backlash on social media for it, we love you and we're here for you and we're
Yes.
sorry. And this is your chance to handle it with professionalism going forward. That's our encouragement to you. And if you're listening to this and you have any crazy stories and
Always
this has
send
happened
them.
to you, send them. We
Always.
love to discuss them. We love to watch them. We love it. We want to see it. And that's all I'm going to say about the topic for today.
Yep. We're hypothetically bringing it home.
And it's not on fire.